the stories breaking this afternoon over at the White House. The press secretary, Sarah Sanders, refusing to confirm or deny whether the North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un, has been in China. There are intriguing questions about who may have been aboard a special train that was seen this week in Beijing. CNN's Brian Todd has been working his sources. Brian, what are you learning?
Wolf, tonight we're told U.S. and South Korean intelligence agencies are monitoring the train's movements, this secretive visit to Beijing, very closely. It's got crucial ramifications for Kim Jong-un's possible summits with President Trump, with the South Korean president, and for his relationship with China. As a U.S. intelligence official tells us tonight, North Korea's ties with its closest ally are at the lowest point they've been in recent history. An imposing motorcade darts back to the rail station in Beijing. And just as mysteriously as it arrived, a high-security train with bulletproof carriages departs the Chinese capital. Tonight, CNN is told it's highly likely that Kim Jong-un was on board the train. That's according to a South Korean lawmaker with ties to that country's intelligence services. Analysts say if Kim did visit China to possibly meet with President Xi Jinping, it would be extraordinary.
This would be the first time that Kim Jong-un has left North Korea since taking power.
And the first time Kim would have met with a foreign head of state. Analysts say the Chinese leader may have wanted to signal to Kim that China didn't want to be left out in the cold, that he wanted to be briefed on Kim's upcoming summit with South Korea's president and his possible meeting with President Trump. But there also could have been a stern warning to the young North Korean dictator whose regime China has propped up for 70 years.
My assumption is that the Chinese have basically told him, your antics are creating big tensions with the United States. It's not in our interest. We know you're under some pressure, and we're willing to help you out, but you need to tone it down. And now that the Americans are showing some willingness to meet with you, you need to start playing ball.
The Chinese are believed to have been furious with Kim Jong-un for his ramped-up nuclear and missile tests and for executing his own uncle, Jang Song-taek, considered China's man in Pyongyang. Tonight, the train itself is the focus of intrigue. It's hugely symbolic. Kim's father and grandfather used the train when they traveled to China and Russia. A Russian diplomat said in those days, live lobsters and expensive wine were delivered to stops along the way, and the train was staffed by, quote, beautiful lady conductors.
They have good-looking young women that work for the supreme leader in his offices, and so those women do perform the same tasks on the train when Kim Jong-un uses it.
Analysts say when the train moves around inside North Korea, it's got one train ahead of it and one behind it. Other security measures, they say, are remarkable.
It is armored. It has the ability on the roof of the train, there's the ability to land a helicopter while the train is moving. There are air escorts with the train. There are North Korean Air Force jets that'll fly over while the train processes through North Korea.
And experts say that by taking the train and not a plane, Kim Jong-un can have many more of his top aides and officials, along with military and security personnel, with him, and can keep his hands more tightly gripped on the levers of power. Wolf?
Is it possible, Brian, that Kim Jong-un's sister could have been on that train?
Absolutely, Wolf. Analysts say if Kim Jong-un was not on that train, his sister Kim Yo-jong likely would have been. She is now Kim's most trusted aide. She is the second most powerful person in North Korea, and she is seen as the catalyst for so much of these recent diplomatic breakthroughs, given her visit to the Winter Olympics and her meetings with South Korean President Moon Jae-in.
We should find out sooner rather than later who was on that train. Brian, thanks very much for that report.